What is up, guys? Welcome to the podcast. So this is a new podcast, first episode. This is a podcast about gaming and only gaming for now, at least. And first off, we have Doug. Please speak, Doug.
Hello everyone.
What is your football's future ID
Oh,
thingy?
on Football's Future, I am OH dash Snell D for Green Bay dash IO, or more commonly known as Ohio,
Oh,
because my
you
username sucks.
I've typed out your username so much now that I actually just know how to do it. I remember when we first started playing Mafia with you, it was just like, oh, da da da, IO.
It's so terrible.
It
I
is
don't know
so
what I was
unnecessary.
thinking when I know when I first joined that site, I was just like, oh hey, I'll just I wanted a name that showed that I was a Ohio State and Green Bay fan. And I was like, oh, I'll just bracket in Ohio. And oh, I was so dumb.
And the other voice you hear is Tom. Say hello,
Yes.
Tom.
Hello. I could not wait.
And what is your football future ID?
It's still Curtain 29.
Okay, and I am Ryan, or High Hopes on football future, and I guess we'll just get started and jump into it. First off, we're gonna be talking about what games we have been playing. Doug, what games have you been playing?
Well, mostly recently, I recently bought I've been playing Skyrim a lot, and I bought well, actually, I already had Dawnguard, but I bought the Dragonborn DLC recently. And I know it's been out for a while, and actually just recently came out for PS3 and PC, but I just got it for Xbox because I've been super poor lately. But I've been playing that so much lately, and I mean, it's so good. I mean, Skyrim's been out for a year and a half now, and I put so many hours into it, and I still just, I mean, this DLC added a whole bunch of new stuff, but even in the vanilla game, it's really my favorite game, and it it's a testament to its staying power that I keep going back to and keep wanting to play it. I've also been playing Assassin's Creed 3 still. I played the multiplayer a lot. I joined a clan for the multiplayer, the Reckoners, and we've been doing a lot of clan stuff with that, and a lot of people were disappointed in the game, but well, I won't say a lot of people, just a very vocal group of people are disappointed about the game, but I really like it. It was my favorite game last year, and I think the multiplayer is very good. So I've been playing that a lot, and yeah, that's basically what I've been playing recently.
Uh, oh crap, you, I think we were talking once, and you said something about Assassin's Creed 3. Like, I can't remember exactly what you were saying. Do you remember that conversation?
Uh, I think we were probably talking about the ending, but
Yeah,
I
I think you were
guess
disappointed in something.
well, actually, in the ending, a lot of people. I won't talk about the ending just in case there's people out there who haven't played it. I don't want to really spoil anything, but uh, this was billed to be the last game for Desmond. If you're familiar with the Assassin's Creed universe, Desmond's sort of the present day character that's sort of actually the main character, even though some people buy the games just for the historical character. Desmond's really been the main character, and it was billed to be the finale. And a lot of people expected something to happen. There was a whole bunch of theories about what was going to happen. I personally had a theory about what was going to happen. I was wrong about what was going to happen, but what happened, I was I was very happy with it. And some people weren't too happy, but I'm really excited about the future, what this could do to the story, and a lot of people wanted like a really good amount of closure, but the ending we got was sort of left it open, which I'm happy with. But a lot of people weren't there, but I don't think it really had the amount of problems with it like ending like Mass Effect 3 did, and I don't think
Oh
that rate wasn't
God.
even nearly close to that. But but I think the ending for Assassin's Creed completely, I felt, matched the universe that it was set in. So
So, so I guess we should make this completely clear. You're a huge Assassin's Creed fan, like
yeah,
one of your top favorite franchises, right?
yeah. If I were to like rank the different franchises, it'd probably be right there with it actually I'm probably just gonna say it is my favorite franchise. It's up there with the Zelda series and Gears of War. It's above Gears of War, but yeah, I'd probably say it is my favorite series, and maybe I'm sort of fanboyish, but I mean, I liked Revelations. A lot of people didn't like it, but I did recognize it was a flawed game. There was a lot of problems with it, and I'm able to recognize that AC3 does have its flaws. There's some bugs. I think people exaggerate it quite a bit, and I felt like the game could it have probably spent more time in development or whatever? Sure. But I felt like what we got was a lot of bang for your buck. It was a pretty big game, and I felt like it did a lot of things that weren't safe, and a lot of people didn't like that. But I really enjoyed the game, and that's basically how I feel about it. A lot of people may disagree with me, but I loved it. So.
So,
Oh, and go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead. I'm gonna ask you a question afterwards.
Oh, and I'm also excited because the DLC is getting ready to come out. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but the Tyranny of King Washington. They're coming out with 3 installments. The first one's supposed to come out this upcoming Tuesday, and it follows an alternate universe where Connor never became an assassin. George Washington becomes like the King of America, and it sort of explores like what could have happened if things didn't go the way they did in AC3. It's sort of new territory. You don't really see this in games. DLC normally adds on to the previous experience, but this sort of is like, if this didn't happen, this is what would have happened. I don't know how exactly. I don't think any of it's going to be canon in like the universe, but I don't know. Maybe this is like some alternate simulation that they're going to somehow tie in. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I'm really excited because they got some really sweet, cool new features for Connor. So I'm really looking forward to that. I got the season pass that's coming out on Tuesday, and they're going to have 3 installments. The first one's coming out on Tuesday, and then they're coming out like each month after that, a new one. So I'm really looking forward to that one too.
So, I don't know if I didn't play Assassin's Creed 3. I did play 1, 2, and Brotherhood. And I loved it up until then, and then I got bored of it. But uh, with with
You're
3
not
ending, it finishes the trilogy, right? So
Yeah,
do you
of
want
Desmond.
more
Yeah.
of it, like, or what do you expect or want from like the next series? Because I don't think Assassin's Creed will end, especially since they
Oh
did go
no,
with
no, it's not. And actually, that's what a lot of people weren't disappointed in because uh, I guess we can talk about spoilers, right? I mean, I don't know. I'll slightly spoil it if that is that a big deal.
We get the internet nowadays. Believe me, something's been spoiled along the line.
Okay. Uh, this is the last game for Desmond. Okay, but Desmond. Uh, basically, what happens at the end of the game? There's a big problem in the world, and it's very obvious what that problem is. So, I mean, the game's not resolved at all. Desmond's dead, but excuse me.
okay.
But I mean, there's definitely gonna be more games. I'm sorry, my throat is like drying up.
Okay, I'll ask Tom real quick. So what is your experience with the Assassin's Creed series?
I actually played the first 2. I had Brotherhood. I had Revelations too, but yeah, like I'm on the same boat as you. After the second one, and I played it all holy hell and back. I really got bored. Like the second one, I beat it completely 100%. Went through all the PlayStation trophies and dominated. I'm thinking to myself, this is gonna be amazing. The next one, and then I was like, well, what the hell's changed? It reminds me of every time I try to play the damn Grand Theft Auto series because they did the same thing. It's one of those, you fall into the same thing, you get excited for it, and then nothing, nothing changes. It's just it's
You felt that
same.
way about the second game?
No. When Brotherhood hit,
Oh, Brotherhood came out.
when
Okay, I
Brotherhood,
can
yeah, when
understand.
Brotherhood came on, yeah, and then I had Revelations, and I was like, where the hell's the new improved combat that is supposed to come with this thing? It was just hack slash get crushed. So I just had enough. I was like, yeah, this is not gonna get any different for me, and I doubt it's gonna be the same. I mean, I doubt it's gonna be different with three
Yeah.
and onward and onward. So, it didn't really spoil anything for me, to say the least.
Well, 3 is definitely a lot different than uh, 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. Brotherhood probably is going to end up being my favorite game so far. But I really like that it was more polished than AC2. But I can understand what you're saying. It wasn't that much different than AC2.
Yeah, I loved Brotherhood. I did the same thing basically as Tom, except I did that with Brotherhood and then I stopped. I have Revelations. I got it for like my birthday slash Christmas, and I put it in and I was just like, I remember this way too much. Like this is a brand new story, but I I remember this too well, I guess, or whatever. So I kind of stopped. I still have it there, so I could always go back to it. But anyways,
Yeah.
one more question, Doug. Do you have any fun Skyrim stories? Because I personally have not played Skyrim. Uh,
Uh,
but I always hear that Skyrim is an adventure. It's your own story. Do you have any
yeah.
special adventures that happened recently, I guess? Or
Yeah. I just want to say one more thing about AC3 before we move on. I did say Desmond was dead, but there's a sort of a different opinion out there. Some people believe he's not dead. So, I don't know. You have to play the game and decide for yourself. I started a second playthrough of Skyrim. My first one, I was playing an orc. Uh, he was like a high 40s character. I did most of the game with him, but I started the second one to do Dragonborn with. He's been an elf. I'm doing a sort of a no quick saves, uh, no fast travel, sort of kind of a hardcore character. I have to sleep every night, try and like really get into Skyrim and try and like live it more. And it's like completely changed the game for me. I've put so many hours into the game, but this new playthrough is just like it's totally changed it. I love the game even more now. Played every single day. But anyways, for like a specific story, around like level 8 or so, my character is pretty weak. I'm playing like an elf. He's like an archer, like a thief, and I'm just like walking across like a field, okay, and I see this campsite, and I'm like, it's like in the side of like a little hill, like dug into the hill. I'm like, okay, I'll walk up there. I'll sneak up there. If there's some people there, maybe I'll kill them. I don't know. So I start sneaking up there, and I see a camp, and then I see a guy on the ground, and I'm like, okay, I'll come. This will be easy. I walk up to him, and he's already dead. And I'm like, okay, well, this was easy. I'm like not even like thinking like it never crossed my mind like why is this guy dead? But I walk up to him, I take all the stuff off his body, take all the everything out of the chest. I'm like, well, he's got I'm very like poorly equipped at this point, so like this is all awesome stuff. I'm like, this is really good. And I haven't saved since I left Whiterun, but this is all good stuff here. I turn around to start walking out of the cave, and I see this freaking saber cat staring at me, and and I'm like, oh my god, this is what killed this poor guy, and he just lured me into this trap, and I'm just gonna die. So I start going after it. I like try and shoot it. It's way too fast. It like charges at me, and like hits me and like takes away like a third of my health. It's like just wrecks me. I start running away. It starts chasing after me again, hits me again. I'm like completely gonna die. I have like 2 health potions. There's no way I'm gonna be able to get away. I'm gonna lose like an hour and a half of like play time. I have no idea what to do. So I like pause the game and I'm like sitting there thinking like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do right now. And then I remember that the character that I'm playing has like a once a day power to pacify creatures, like make them allies to you. So I activate that power, and this saber cat who is like just destroying me just like stops and starts like walking away like really slowly. And I pull out my sword and I just start hacking at it. And because it's my ally, it just sits there and takes it. And I just keep killing, and I just kill the saber cat. I take its pelt, and then I just run as fast as I can back to Whiterun. That way I can save and sleep. But it was just like a super, super intense moment that I, could only get because I was playing like a hardcore, no, very little saves, no exploits kind of playthrough. But yeah, it's, I feel, I every time I play, I sort of have a moment like that. So that's why this game sort of has staying power for me. So
Okay.
that was my moment for you, Ryan.
Okay, good. Well, if it happens every single time, I guess we'll have a good story every single time we do this.
Okay, that sounds
No
good.
pressure. I can just imagine like a Friday before we record, it's like, oh crap, I haven't had a story. Go to
Just playing it
Skyrim.
over and over again, just running up to people, do something interesting.
Tom, do you have any questions or comments?
I have a hilarious story with an RPG one time making an ass of myself.
Okay, go
Let's
ahead.
hear it.
I had absolutely had to have when Final Fantasy 12 came out. Of course, I was the typical poor college kid, couldn't afford everything, whatever. So I actually went out of my way to ask my parents to get me this game because I had to have it, had to get this damn game. Literally, the moment I got it, I didn't even get to play it that night. I wasn't home. I was out and about, whatever. I got home I got home in the morning after because I went to a buddy's house, got to play it, woke up before my parents, snuck the big TV, put it on the big TV and everything, and I just get this look from my parents like, what the hell are you doing? The way to sell our big TV, because just me being me, I'm just obsessed with the Final Fantasies up until the 13s because they can go to hell and disappear for all I care. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I played these games for years, and they're like, oh yeah, our son, his one little thing or whatever. They're thinking like I'm so great at this game, whatever, and I'm not paying attention because I'm trying to get used to how it was set up, the walk around command thing. You don't actually like command the players; they actually kind of do their own thing when you give them like a hint ahead of time instead of the whole turn-based thing. And I'm like, oh look at this hack slash kill, easy hack slash kill. I'm this game's easy. I'm gonna blow through it. I turn around and there's a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex there and just comes up and whacks the shit out of me and I'm dead. And I'm just like, and next thing I see is 4,000 hit points. And I'm like, I don't have that many. I was like, I don't think everything combined times like 8 would have that many. And I'm just looking around like, what the fuck just happened? And I just turn around and look, and I just get this smirk. And they're just laughing away. And all I could do was hit the power button, unhook everything, and go back into my room with it. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. To make matters worse, I had literally not saved in like an hour from doing master training, and I'm just like, I'm done. What can I even say to that? I got my ass kicked.
for you.
Nevertheless, I did not go back to that area until about 30 hours later in gameplay. Then again, I'm thinking to myself, there's these little things that have like 25 health and I'm killing them. And then, oh yeah, we'll just put like a 9,000 health Tyrannosaurus Rex right in the middle of nowhere, right at the beginning of the game. That's logical.
Well, T-Rex gotta eat,
I guess the first hint should have been, don't go into the damn Tyrannosaurus Rex. That probably would have been the first idea.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, this thing can't be hard. I'm just trolling through everything and just rolling right through. That didn't work out too well.
Nice. So, what have you been playing?
I have been playing the holy hell out of Far Cry 3 that I just got the other day. And by the other day, I mean like 3 days ago.
But it feels like the other day.
I'll tell you what though, I wanted this right when it came out, and I made the mistake of waiting. Well, I guess I can't say the mistake because I ended up getting it from GameStop because I had a bunch of old credit from Christmas gifts I got from relatives because all I got were GameStop gift cards because that's all I ask for ever. And I was waiting on this specifically because I figured I can get it cheaper, like as used, because I have only PS3, so I figured that it wouldn't make much of a difference. But uh, when I finally got it, like I wasn't even gonna go get it. I was actually just getting rid of other games, and I saw it up there, and I'm like, I can't wait anymore. I have to play it. So I finally went and got it, and within like the first night, I just could not, I couldn't stop. Like I haven't had a game like that in a while, like where I just started it and couldn't stop, and it just fascinated me because everything about the game was just intriguing. Like usually lately, there's always something that has to screw it up, whether it's like storyline, beginning, end, random glitches, flaws, something pissing me off. But there really wasn't anything. I think the only thing that flawed to me was I had to go in the water because, heaven forbid, if I go near a shark, I'm flipping out.
Yes.
Of course, I'll tell you what, that is the one most scariest thing in the world. I was reading up on it on PS3trophies.org. I was like on the forums and that, and somebody's like, "This game scares me," and I'm like, "Really? Like, why? What the hell?" Like, I saw the graphics, I saw like all the previews and everything, and I'm like, hunting things and stuff. Like, that'll be cool, whatever. Just things roaming around, you never know what to expect. And I really should have taken that advice because literally, like the first 30 seconds into the game when I'm free roaming around, I made the mistake of going around trying to collect. There's these like leaves, like medical leaves that
Yeah.
you can grab and you like mix them together and you make your potions and other things you need. And out of nowhere, something just bite my foot. I look down, and it's a Komodo dragon, and I'm like, um, they're just there. Like, okay. And I
Yeah.
figured to myself 2 3 shots to take this thing out. No, it took like 30 shots of this thing, and I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be fun because literally one bite and I was dead almost. I'm thinking to myself, dear God, is this gonna be the whole game? And I was playing on normal. Wasn't even like I didn't even get the hard. I'm thinking to myself, oh hell, this is gonna be fun. Well, I made the mistake of trying to free roam and collect items as I could to because I guess you have to in order to get uh like better items. Like there's things like the hold items, to hold ammo, to hold syringes for when you're healing yourself and stuff, and other things. You have to kill certain things. And I'm like, all right, fine, a leopard. I'll shoot it from like 100 yards out. That'll kill it, right? No, like 30 shots later, I'm done. Well, I'm trying to go through like the first hour and some of gameplay where I'm not being like too obvious about things and trying to kill things polite, like real easy going. And I'm coming up behind a couple buffalo, and I'm like, oh, this ain't gonna be that hard.
Oh my God, no.
Oh, yes, yes. It's exactly what it sounds like. I didn't realize where I was standing. I was along a water edge, and out of nowhere, just a fucking crocodile out of nowhere just attacked me. I literally jumped almost off my couch. I did not see it coming. I'm like, oh dear lord! And this thing had me wrestled, and I had to go through a QTE to get this thing off and kill it. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, mother of God, I hope I never have to get near the water. I literally kill it and realize, hey, I need its skin or whatever. So I skin it, use the item. Next thing that comes up, I have to kill a shark, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, like so I've also played Far Cry 3, but I played when it came out, so last year or December. And I think anyone who plays Far Cry, like, it was kind of funny listening to Doug's Skyrim story because that sounded exactly like a Far Cry story. And that happens to everyone. Like, everyone gets scared by some animal sooner or later. And my stories were one of them was I was clearing out one of those camps or whatever, and the camps usually sometimes have a caged animal. And this
yeah.
one had a caged tiger, so I shot it, cleared out the whole thing. It's like, oh great, now I kept my eye on the tiger and made sure I knew where it was, and so I cleared it out. I was like, okay, now I'm gonna get this tiger. It should be pretty weak, right? And so I'm like, I was like, oh crap, where did it go? And I have like pretty nice headset, so I could hear it growling. And so I'm literally just sitting there, just kind of like trying to hear where it's coming from exactly, because it's kind of faint. And then next thing you know, like I just turn around and just it jumps me and scared the hell out of me. I was just like, oh my god, what the fuck is? And then that was all great and dandy. And the crocodiles I think are the worst because if you pull up the map in Far Cry 3, uh, you can see all where the animals are. So if you go into a place where there's tigers, you're kind of looking for tigers. You're not gonna be that surprised unless they jump you. But for crocodiles, I cleared one of those towers, I ziplined down, and then I noticed that there was a relic, and it was like under a cave. and so I had to dive into this, water, and it was a water cave kind of thing. So I dive in, I start collecting some plants, and then I start going towards the relic. And I had no idea there were crocodiles on here. I knew there were sharks, I knew there were tigers, I knew there were leopards and all that kind of stuff. And next thing you know, it pops up, and I was just like, what the hell is that? Because like, and I literally felt like how the guy was, like, what is on me? I don't even know what's on me. I'm just gonna punch whatever's there. Finally, finally kill it, and that was it. And with the sharks, I never got scared by it because so when I
Oh,
ended up doing
I'm definitely afraid of sharks. Like I couldn't do. I'll tell you what. I'll be honest with you. I was going through the like just doing random things before I actually finished up the story, and I figured some of the things were worth doing for the hell of it. So I figured I'd do some of the trophies and that because it's a fun game. I loved it. I figured there's little quick things to do, and the one of them was you have to dive 60 meters or deeper into the deepest part of the water, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm like, I'm out. No, I'm not, because I'm playing this thing and I'm doing everything but that. My buddy's like, I'll take it. He's like, I owe you. I was
yeah.
like, I'm not doing. I'm like, here, dude, this is what you need. I hit the item so that I get the syringe so that I could dive underwater and not have to worry about it. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm not even looking. It freaks me out.
Yeah, the reason I never got scared by sharks is because I never even really attempted it. Like, so one of the biggest things was to melee take down the heavies, which is really useful. You had to kill a shark, right? And so one of the first things, this is middle through the game, so I take a boat and I go out into the middle and I can't find one. I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna quit. I'm not gonna jump in and take the bite just to kill a shark because I don't want to be scared, shitless. But so what I ended up doing was there was a shallow part that had some water. Put on the hunter's thing, and there's a shark just not too deep. Got it, ran back out. I was like, I'm done. I'm good. No more going in water. I'm done with this game. I
Well,
finished it right
well,
afterwards.
you need to kill a couple sharks in the game in order to create I think it was the one pouch for your which one was it? It was either the ammo or your the whole more syringe. I think it's the syringes, which you definitely need as
Yeah,
the game goes on. That's probably the one thing you need the most because you come to a point where you're trying to take the outpost and there's just too many enemies. So you had to have that definitely. So I came up to an area where I could stand up on the rock and I would wait until a shark comes real shallow towards the water, and I would quickly just fire away at it and take it out and then
yeah,
skin it and run back out and hope that I don't look.
exactly.
Although I think the one thing that really bothers me the most, I don't know, if you could say it's a flaw, but like when I expected these animals, like I expected it, like you had to take out the leopards, the sharks, the crocodiles too. Like the thing that really got me was like they made it too easy. It was just a real quick time event, and then you're off it, and then you could fire away. Like it paused for a second, like okay, it's your turn, you can kill me. I snuck up on you.
Yeah,
And the thing that pissed me off the most was that shark, that freaking shark, dude. That thing came out of nowhere. You didn't expect it. You could be swimming in the water, you don't see it, and then it comes up and it bites you and takes off. And I'm like, you just hold on a minute. You didn't even know it was there, but your son came up and you bit me, and there's my blood. That's the one thing that senses these things, and what to do? It just goes away. I'm like, okay, they're just gonna go away. Like I expected to attack me. Like they should have made it so that like if you came up to a shark and a shark got you in the water, you're dead. You're not gonna get away from that. You're not, or you should have had like a harpoon for an item, you know.
yeah,
But the sharks, they don't attack you after that. They bite you and run off. And I'm like, what the hell's the point of that? What was the point of that? Just scares the shit out of you. And like
yeah,
the other things like the crocodile especially, and then the leopards, they attack you, but then there's that quick time event, so you have a chance to take it out. And it's like, no, no, no. If they surprise attack you, they should not have a chance.
yeah. The
They
quick
it's
time event was
guaranteed to kill
basically
you.
yeah. The
That
quick
kind of ruined it in a sense.
Yeah, I don't know. That game, like, I was kind of the same as you from the beginning, but then I just kind of, I don't know. It was still fun. I beat it, but I didn't love it as much in the end. And it wasn't like any specific reason. I guess kind of it was kind of like a new game, feeling about it, and
Well,
it kind of went away.
the thing that really gets me is that like in all aspects of the game, minus the fact that it's short, because if you want 100% the game, if you're like an absolute completist, which I didn't 100% it, but I mean, I've got almost all the trophies. I'm doing the co-op now with a buddy of mine because he's not gonna end up buying it now because he watched me play half of it, but he's really into it. But the thing that really gets me is that there's really not any flaws about it. I mean, other than like I said, that the animals just kind of like giving you a chance for no reason, because that exists. the game actually itself is pretty cool. Like there's the skills that you need to level up. They actually require you to actually do things and use the skills. So it's not like where in like in Skyrim, like you can almost cheat your way into getting like high restoration, like getting that levels up, like leveling up as a character. There's so many different flaws. Like there's a cheap trick for like infinite money. There's a cheap trick um for your speechcraft, which is probably I think the second biggest skill that you need in the game because you need to persuade people like crazy in that game for many things. But it's a cheap way to get levels.
Overrated.
Yeah. Well, it's a cheap way to get skills and stuff. And those skill points level up things. So like if I want to sit there and keep healing myself 100 times over, even though I'm full health, you can actually build yourself up as a high skill in something else without actually having to do much of anything. But in Far Cry 3, like some of the skills that you definitely do need, you actually have to do like some the crazy legit shit. Like there's one the ninja step where you actually have to like hide around and you effectively do it well. But in order to do that, you have to liberate 2 of the posts and you can't be seen. And it makes it a pain in the ass because if you try to go in there with like a suppressed sniper, they'll catch on after the first 2 and they'll come running for you. So you gotta actually scout that stuff out, look everywhere for every kind of guy. It's the game itself in all aspects, which is it's fantastic. Like I said, the only thing that I think it bums me out is just short. Not even 20 hours of total gameplay, and I have it completed. Like there's nothing else, and there's really no replay. There was no new game plus for it. There's no nothing.
Well, there's
So-
co-op and multiplayer technically.
Yeah. Well, but I'm just saying, as the story, there's not really any. There's nothing to replay. I mean, it's Skyrim. Oh my god, how many different characters can you create? I mean, you're trying for an ogre. Good freaking luck. I would never. I remember the first time I played Oblivion, I tried an ogre, and I'm like, well, this sucks. Like half the skills
An
are
orc.
pointless. I'm sorry, an orc. I'm thinking, oh, what the hell am I thinking, ogre? Oh my god, an orc. I mean, they have like no magic power whatsoever. So
my
it
first
kind
character
of
was like a two-handed. Yeah, like
so it kind of negates
Yeah.
a lot. Not having any magic power on that game is really hard to work with. I mean, I can deal with just a little bit because you can just go with like restoration or maybe like destruction of some sort or something like that. But having none at all is a pain. Although I think trying to remember. I mean, obviously the high power, but I think there's something else that makes ogres at least worthwhile is hand-to-hand combat. But there's too many like mage type characters. Well, I should say enemies in that game. So it. But as far as Far Cry 3 goes, I think the cool part is with the story, and it all makes sense in a sense. I mean, you basically, well, what it is you're playing as Jason Brody and your family and all. I guess they were at least how the game's is that you're parachuting into this islands off the edge of Bangkok, and everything goes great until you guys are found by these Indian tribe, and I guess apparently your brother, who is this high rank soldier in the U.S. Army, didn't realize that they were there because I guess they weren't supposed to be, and it turned out to be Voss, who the guys you see on the cover of the game. But
Well, I want to spoil something about Far Cry, but I shouldn't.
yeah, it depends where you're going with that. I was thinking the same thing too. But the thing that gets me is you're seen as you and your older brother Grant are trying to get out, and then Grant's supposed to be this like secret op kind of guy. He's not gonna get caught. No, they're not gonna find him. You're gonna make it out alive. And you're playing as Jason. And Jason's about to wet himself in the situation he's in. And the next thing you know, not that anyone's not gonna see it already, but your brother's killed. He's right in front of you. He
Yeah,
has
this
his
is
head.
like the first 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. But they as in Voss just they're like, run Jason, run. They give him a chance. They just toy with him, but you end up getting away, obviously. But the thing that gets me is like, as soon as the game starts, obviously he's scared shitless because he's the college boy, whereas your brother was a special ops that just got his head blown off, not paying attention when he should have been, and somehow you made it out alive. And the thing that gets me is that as the game goes along, within like a couple days worth, this dude goes from like the kid that can't even get out of mommy and daddy's house and the kid that won't grow up into this psychopath, and
Rambo.
he ends up going, yeah, pretty much Rambo. Yeah, he really becomes Rambo out of nowhere, like in 3 days. Like I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
It really doesn't make any sense. And on top of that, just little quickness in the games just make me laugh. Like he turns into this like Rambo, like he turns into this monster. He really does. Like he almost like abandons his own family all of a sudden after he's fighting so hard to get them, and he keeps changing back and forth the kind of character he is. Although I have to say, I laugh hysterically as I'm about to get to the end of the game, and he's turned into this like freak of nature. Like he's mentally just not there. He's like some psycho now. And then I go to skin an animal, and he's like, "Ew, fuck, like ew, gross."
Yeah.
Blow people's heads off and tell him how you want to kill people, but then you have to gun an animal, and that's where you draw the line. So
Yeah.
that kind of made me giggle a couple times. But hey,
Especially how many times he does it throughout the game. Like it's not even one of those things where it's like, like, oh well, it's still something new, but it's skinning someone and torturing someone is still kind of different. But like, you do that how many times throughout the game? How many times you skin an animal just to level up your ammo pack, and you're still disgusted at it 20 hours in, or how many days in technically? Yeah, it's
well,
weird.
that and how many times you've killed people, and you
Yeah,
keep and you say he wants to kill people and wants to kill. That's what got me too. That made me kind of laugh. He's like, I want this. I want to kill this person. It's like, okay, easy killer. You don't know what you're doing, which I guess he does learn how to know what he's doing about 3 days in, which I thought was surprising. But hey, I guess they got to figure out how to make things work. Not
yeah.
expecting perfection, but they're just they're the moments. Although I will say that they had one player that just one character I should say that was killed, which I was expected, but when it happened, it was probably the most disappointing moment I think I've seen in a game in a long time.
Yeah, I think I know what
Uh,
you're saying.
and
That's exactly what I was
are
thinking.
you thinking about a good bit of the way into the story? Just an awkward death, and it was
Yeah,
praised. Yeah, okay, I
I
thought so. See, I just didn't understand why that had to happen the way it did. It should have never, because you were given so many chances to live. And there were so many chances for you to die, and somehow said character keeps you around for shits and giggles, and he basically says he's gonna kill you like 8 times, but he keeps screwing up. But then the one time you get a chance, he's gone, and it's like that easy, really? Like I'm supposed to believe that?
yeah, that was probably my biggest. That might have actually been where my like love of the game turned. I guess probably.
No, I think mine had to have been later. I think pretty late in the game when a certain situation came about, and uh, let's just say that I'd say probably after the first head character died, I would say it's a storyline came up then, and I just saw it coming, and I saw the predictability coming all the way toward till the end, and it kind of bummed me out that it had to be that way. But I am glad that they had the two separate endings. They let you choose between, you could do two different endings if you wanted to. Although one ending just didn't make any sense why it was even there, but it was still worth seeing.
Okay. Do you have you been playing any other games or?
Well, I switched to a lot of things sports wise too, but I always keep playing the Pokemon series. Black 2 for certain. Well, Black 2 and White 2. I didn't get to play through a White 2 playthrough yet because I actually ended up getting it used to GameStop with a coupon and such, and they actually didn't have to pay any money for it, which was nice. But I'm excited for Generation 6. I just kind of bummed out that it wasn't that the big Nintendo Direct, announcement was not the remake of the third generation, because things changed around a lot when the fourth generation came with how things were done, especially with how there is different ways to train different Pokemon and everything. I was so expecting the third one to be remade before a sixth generation because it's just too soon. It really is too soon. If you look back at how things have been done over the years, there's been about a 3.5 year difference with the changes of generations, and it just seems like something's going to be rushed. They just rushed something on the 3DS, and they really shouldn't have. They should have just
Maybe.
they should have remade Generation 3, and it would have given them time to properly move things along. And now they're rushing things, and there's already a lot of pissing and moaning. Surprisingly, we go figure. Especially already with a starter, and then they revealed the new EV that's Sylveon. Although they haven't even decided to tell you exactly what
Type.
uh thank you, what type it's gonna be. Although I think it's flying, but they've already rushed it and how things are gonna look, and it's already getting hate, which is not surprising because I even think it looks awkward.
Well, I mean, what new Pokemon generation really hasn't gotten hate? Like, I heard people clamoring for Generation 3 remake. I remember, like when Gen 4 I think was new, or even during Gen 3. Like, I actually like Gen 3. I didn't like Gen 2 that much, to be honest, because I feel like it didn't have that many new Pokemon. So I loved Gen 3, and I remember everyone hated Gen 3. It was all about 1 and 2. And now, as you know, now 4 and 5 come out, now 6 is coming out, now Gen 3 is good, and it's just like, I don't know. It's so bizarre to me. I skipped Gen 4. I watched a lot of Gen 5, and I really want to get Gen 6, but I probably won't until, I don't know. I don't have a 3DS, so.
Gen 3 was actually probably the one I skipped because I played 1 and 2 so much when I was younger, and then I was at that age where I'm like, oh no, nobody can know I still play Pokemon, no way. And that's when 3 came, and I kind of started to miss 4, and I didn't think anybody my age would still play them. And at the time, I thought my wife would think I was crazy for still playing it. And then here I find out that she's got handheld games that are all even more kiddish than Pokemon, and I'm like, hey, what the hell? And now I just, you know, I've even got I found that there's a new hack out now. Somebody has one called Victory Fire. That you can use the Visual Boy Advance emulator, and it's the Gen 3. Uh,
Engine.
yeah, thank you. I was trying to think of that. Well played. But it's very different. I mean, you start off with either an Axu or a Gibble, and they're dragon fighting, which I don't understand the point of that.
Wait,
But they
Gibble?
yes, a Gibble or an Axu, male or female, depending what you choose. But the Axu is actually a dragon fighting because his attacks are very high and his special sucks. But dragon's still considered special no matter what the attack is in this generation. There's no like Thunder Punch wouldn't be physical; it's always special. They didn't do
Yeah,
that until Generation 4. So in this case, they try to accommodate it. So they give you a dragon fighting, except that apparently the fighting part was left out in his move list. So that kind of makes it pointless. But there's random Pokemon everywhere. Like gone, I've gone through the first part of this game, and I've already seen like a Driftbloon. I've seen like a Pineco already. There's this weird tower that you go into, like a ghost tower, and I got a Litwick. Somebody gives you random Ekans. I found a Scraggy. I found a Machop. I mean, it just switches between all the generations whoever made this. And it's not bad. It's fun to play, but apparently it's very challenging. So I look forward to it. Just definitely not going to Nuzlocke it because there's no way you're going to do it with how hard it is.
yeah. I mean, that
He's
is
got the
definitely. Uh,
log.
yeah, that was definitely one of the changes to me to Pokemon that was really smart. Was the difference between physical and special. Like, like I said, I stopped at Gen 3. I think mostly because I didn't really have a DES. I do now, but it's
I didn't need.
broken. It's literally like split in half, connected by like a little wiring kind of thing. It still works, but that was so I never really got into Gen 4. But there was one part I really liked about Gen 4 that was the change. I think that was one of the smartest changes they could have done. It'll be interesting what they do with Gen 6.
Yeah.
So, any other games?
Not really at the moment. I'm playing NBA 2K13 here and there. I'm really waiting for Nino Cooney.
You don't have
And
that yet?
I'm waiting on it right now. I'm looking for a used copy to snag up.
Okay.
Yeah, I was waiting on it because I was hoping for a price drop. So I was kind of hoping like get one game at a time because I'm really excited for MLB 13 the show, and I know I'm gonna play that a lot. Cause that series I get so into it for the first several months. It's just that damn good. Baseball fan or not, I mean I know people that don't even like baseball that actually got a PlayStation just for just the game. It's just
Yeah,
that good.
if I don't have a PlayStation, but like that would probably be the game. Like if I were to get a PlayStation, that would be like the one that I would get it for because 360 doesn't have. I mean, we have the 2K series, but there's like no comparison for baseball between the show and 2K. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, what the game? Well, I guess technically no game did this for me, but I did end up getting a PS3 today. I literally got it like six
Whoa,
hours ago, six
But
and
damn,
a half hours ago.
that's
Eh,
news. Wow.
income
Yeah, and I got Nino Kuni with it.
tax.
That's why I was asking. And so I already played like the 4 hours before we started recording, and right now it's pretty fun. Like it's it's kind of funny. There's so much to it. They even kind of joke about it in the game. Like they're like, "Oh, I know this might be going over your head, but you'll get it. You'll get it." It's just like, wow, okay. That's one way to deal with over introducing things, but yeah, I mean, it's I guess I didn't play much of it right now, so I've only played like 3 or 4 hours or something like that, and it's a pretty fun game right now. I just started. It has Pokemon aspects. It has like Final Fantasy 12, I would say, kind of game style as well, and it looks like it. One of the things, and I know you hate Final Fantasy 13, but what I kind of like about it, and what I like, was they make the turn-based system into a much more packed thing. So it's not just kind of like, press A, wait for your turn, press A wait for your turn. They're evolving it, which is definitely what probably needed for Japanese RPGs. And like, I feel like I can't just sit at my, the back of my bed and fall asleep on accident during a battle. I actually have to pay attention to it. Uh, Anyways, I haven't played too much of it, so I can't talk too much of it. It's fun so far. I do want to play it again. And then the other games I've been playing currently is all co-op games. I've been playing with one of my friends. Uh, I finished Dead Island. So I started Dead Island with him a long time ago. This is actually a pretty long game. It's a 20-hour Fallout-ish type game, and it's fun, but it's kind of stupid, I guess, at the same time. Like, it was really fun to play with him, like, making the weapons and using them, and my character was using like blunt weapons, so like there would be times where these zombies like twice as high as you, I just knock them once and it goes across the map, which is hilarious. But other than that, it was just a fun time. Another game I've been playing is Sanctum. I don't know if do you guys know Sanctum?
No,
No.
I don't.
So I don't know. I think this might be PC only, but it's like a co-op tower defense first person kind of thing. So you can build towers, and then when the waves go on, you go into first person, and and that could go up to 4 players. And we had like there's this one time I even streamed it, actually, most of it. Uh, we just did an endless wave because we've been there. It starts with 10 waves. When you're first playing, you lose pretty easily. Then we start figuring it out, and then we found this one thing. If you're playing Sanctum, use hollow fields. Just putting that out there, and stack them. Get like 3 or 4 hollow fields. If you play it, you'll know what I mean. You do a crap ton of damage, and it's really fun, but it can get grindy at the end there.
Hmm.
Uh, and then the last but not least, after finishing Dead Island, I started with my friend Fable 3. We just
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was on sale, and we were looking for a co-op game to play, other than because we played a shit
Sale?
ton
Like
of
a dollar
Sanctum.
sale?
No, it was half price, or it was a Steam sale. We got it on
Nah.
Steam.
Yeah, it was like I think it's like $12 or something on Steam.
Yeah, it
I think
was
I saw
pretty
that right.
cheap. And so before this, we were like, well, we finished Dead Island. We played a crap ton of Sanctum. We played a bunch of Far Cry 3 as well. I think we did all the co-op missions. And so we were like, well, what game are we gonna get? And finally, on Steam, the Steam sale is just like, here's 2 co-op games that are on sale for you to play, and Fable 3 was one of them. We started playing it, and I think we both kind of like it so far, but it was hard to get used to at first because like the pause menu is like within the game, is if that makes any sense. Like if you pause, you go to this room, and then you have to find on the wall like the options, and it's just like, what the hell? Like, it gets
Hmm.
confusing. And we finally, after 2 hours of playing it or so, we finally getting used to it. But then he had to go, and it's just like, I was starting to have fun with this game. But those are the games I've been playing. I've been playing stuff like Halo and Minecraft or whatever. But
Boo.
other than that,
Yeah.
that's about it. Um, Moving on from, so I guess, is there anything else you guys want to talk about on what we've been playing? I know I just kind of skipped through my games, but I don't think you guys
Yeah.
played much of it.
Nah, I haven't really gotten anything else yet. I'm gonna get the Nino Kuni when I get the chance, but when I get the chance.
So, like I was saying about me and my friends, we were looking for co-op games, and I honestly feel like there should be co-op in just about every game. What do you guys think about that statement? Just someone
Uh,
jump in.
Personally, I don't really feel that way. I know certain games maybe can enhance a certain, you can enhance a game with a good co-op. Like I would say probably Borderlands 2. Like if I didn't, I know I played that with you, Ryan. If I didn't have co-op with that, I probably wouldn't play that game very much. But the co-op made it more interesting. But like other series, like there's rumors of the next Assassin's Creed's gonna have co-op. That's the new hot rumor right now. I'm A lot of people are excited for it. I personally am not. I really enjoy the for a lot of my favorite games, sort of like a more of an intimate experience, like really getting into a story and sort of like living in that game. And I feel like co-op kind of takes you out of it.
Well,
You're listening to your friend, or you know, sure. Like I've had really good experiences with co-op and like Gears of War. Like it can be like sort of a bonding. I played it with my brother. It was really fun, but I would really hate it if like games sort of like shifted more towards that away from what it is now. I like it, in some games it's fine, but I don't feel like every game, or even most games should have like that as an option. I think, there's a lot of games that would really suffer if they tried to like cater towards that crowd more.
even
You're
just as
just
an option. I'm not saying like force like co-op, like don't make it where,
I understand that, but I feel like there's a lot of games, like I'm really, really worried about Assassin's Creed and, other games that, maybe the next, Elder Scrolls or whatever game, Zelda gonna have co-op, or I feel like if a developer has a goal in mind of, okay, we've got to build co-op into this, what do we need to do? I feel like that would take away from, maybe they wouldn't do something that would have been cool otherwise, because hey, we need to have 2-person, 3-person, 4-person arenas, or we need to build it, because co-op isn't something that you can just tack on.
I think it
you
is though.
know at least if it's going to be any good. You can't just like tack it on. And I mean,
So,
I would be worried if traditionally single player games started going more towards co-op.
you're just forcing them to use that damn online pass. You're
Yeah.
forcing
Yeah.
that, and
Yeah.
Chance and Blue Hell want to deal with that. Hey, I got away with it for Far Cry because I'm glad, but I wasn't paying for no online pass. I sure as hell didn't want to deal with it. And I would have had to.
Yeah.
I would have had to at that point, because if you start forcing, I mean, here I got lucky they didn't have it. I was able to play it offline without it, but if you think about it, it could potentially force that, and I don't want to deal with that. I don't think anybody does.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be the inevitable, but
yeah, it's gonna
to
happen
to push
anyways.
the issue any sooner than you have to, let's not go there, please.
But I think I mean, if you don't want co-op just because it might have some online DRM, like I think you're looking at it the wrong way. I mean, like, so I don't even mean that they have to cater to a co-op experience. Borderlands 2, if played with one person or two, it's basically the same exact thing. The only difference is maybe it's harder, I believe. Right? Like, Doug, like, do you remember any part that was like, oh, you two heroes, like, you go to this mission, then you go to this mission, then you'll meet up at one part?
No.
No, it was always one straight mission. They
Yeah.
they talked ambiguously to heroes. Necessarily it could be one hero, two heroes, four heroes, and you just you played one mission. Fable 3 is actually very much like that as well. Corey, my friend, he is he's joining mine since I'm streaming it, and he's actually almost like not even a part of the game, to be honest. He fights with me, but he doesn't even get a lot of things. I don't think it should do that. I think it should be. But I think like what Borderlands 2 did, where if you just throw in co-op, I think the hardest thing would be is that you'd have to do maybe some difficulty scaling, but they already make an easy, normal, hard, very hard, unlocked, super challenging mode, right? Like it can't be that hard to just scale up things if there's two characters in there instead. And I feel like there's
He did. All PC and Diablo's done it.
yeah
Borderlands does it now, anyways.
yeah I guess there are probably some games like an Assassin's Creed game, since that's well I guess it's not exactly about stealth, but a stealth game would probably be something hard. But like just I feel like there's a lot of games out there that would benefit from it. Like Halo has had co-op since
I
Halo
mean, I feel like
1.
outside of shooters, I don't know. I'm sure there's games that do it successfully, but I don't
I mean, like Dead Island was super fun. Fable 3 I'm sure is gonna be fun. Like, I definitely understand what you're saying. Like with Ni no Kuni, I probably wouldn't want to play co-op with someone at least right off the bat. But I wouldn't mind if there was an option there. Like if someone could, if let's say I beat the game or something and someone wants to play with me, it'd be kind of cool. Just be the freeloader that just follows the gets to hear the story again, but doesn't have to do anything.
But I mean, isn't it like how's that? I don't understand how that would be like a fun experience at that point if you're just like an add along. Like,
I had that fun with it. Because you still fight, you're still with the person, and the whole thing with co-op isn't most of the fun in co-op the co-op, right? Like it's kind of like you're saying the reason you don't want it in a single player is because you don't want them to kind of talk. You're gonna be talking to them instead of listening to the story, and if you have good enough friends, like when we were playing Borderlands 2, Corey, he played with his brothers and he didn't hear any of the story, and that made him not like the game as much. We, when the story was talking, we kept quiet, and then when we were just walking and running around, we were, laughing and enjoying and having fun.
Yeah.
So I just feel like.
But I feel like Borderlands 2 wasn't, if I was gonna play that game single player, I don't feel like the story wasn't what kept me in that game. So.
Yeah, it's not doing it for me either.
No, I know, but this can be with any game. Like I'm just saying I don't want them to completely force it. Like, oh, we didn't have the co-op check mark done, but I feel like it's if it's something that could work with co-op and it's not necessarily if they're not in a complete time bind, it would be nice if more games had co-op. I guess.
Oh,
I don't know. I would just say like
I'd see it. They should put it back like they did in the whole Final Fantasy games. You could do that. Final Fantasy used to let you where you had a certain person control a certain person. So like I could have a buddy play with you. Like the old ones did. Final Fantasy 3/6 did that. Like they should just do that now where it's like if I got like two buddies here and they want to play, I control one person, they control one person, they can the third buddy control another one.
Yeah, like how the hell
that would make things a lot more different because that way they can make it where it's like how they had 12 like free roaming. So like you had to be in a certain area to be able to like heal somebody or had to be within the area to attack the enemy or whatever, so that you could split it up. So and it would come up with like a barrier. So like in Final Fantasy's case, like if you're trying to use the highest attack, like the old days it was like Ice 3, but now they could just say Blizzard. Like you have to use it and make sure you hit all the enemies. But if your teammate's in the way, you're gonna get hit by it. I mean, you could do something like that with it, which would make it so much more interesting. Like you could have done it with Dragon Age, which would have been fantastic.
Like, why was that not done with Mass Effect? You have a 3-character squad every single mission. Well, not every mission, but most missions.
That was a game that should have.
Why can't I have a friend jump in and play, as one of the squad mates?
That would have been amazing. Especially considering how stupid the AI is in that game sometimes. Oh my god. Playing that game on Insanity is not because it's hard, it's because the AI is literally retarded, and that's the only way to put it. And it angers me to that point. They're just literally stupid.
Granted, after playing its multiplayer, Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, human players might not necessarily be better. Just saying,
When you said Dragon Age, I kind of got excited because I feel like that would be kind of awesome to have a co-op Dragon Age because I love that series as well. And I think
maybe that might be what's coming.
Yeah,
no, we still haven't heard anything, and that's coming next. That's the end of this year, actually. We haven't heard next to anything.
Oh, I thought it was next year.
I'm pretty certain it was 13.
Oh, okay.
I I
Well,
thought
whenever
I
it
thought it
gets
was
here,
in
I'll be
13.
excited for it.
Well, whatever it is, it better be epic because nobody gives a damn
Yeah,
about Dragon Age 2 anymore. I literally saw it
I
today on
know. I
sale,
know.
brand new GameStop for
Yeah,
$10. Oh
I'll,
yeah,
God.
yeah. That was a disappointment.
I'm so mad that there's another Dragon Age, to be honest. Because I want my goddamn Jade Empire. Jade Empire 2. It's like, people hated Dragon Age 2. Why are you making another one? Make my favorite
Because
game.
Dragon Age Origins was that awesome.
Indeed, it
So is
was.
Jade Empire. You guys need to play Jade Empire if you've not played it. I'm going
Yeah.
to make sure it gets a resurgence and they make a goddamn sequel. Because also it's the Asian culture and we have enough medieval Dragon Age and Skyrim and Elder Scrolls in general, I guess, and I wanted more Asian cultures. Anyways,
Asians are boring, brah.
hmm?
Asians are boring, brah.
No, they aren't. They have ninjas. How are ninjas boring?
You might get Assassin's Creed. That's what people are thinking. Maybe.
Oh yeah. That was actually one of the ones I was rooting for before they said colonial America or whatever. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it'd be awesome if there's ninjas.
Well, the speculation is that Connor's done. So the
Yeah,
next one, they were thinking maybe Japan or China. That's what
yeah,
people are thinking.
yeah. Like, did either of you play Sleeping Dogs?
I have a
No.
Sleeping Dogs. Yeah,
Do you
I
like
have a
it?
Sleeping Dogs. Yeah, I do. I haven't gotten too far into it yet, but it's already kind of growing on me in a way of I'm already getting bored because it just seems like another Grand Theft Auto.
Oh,
Although,
the
if I'm not
combat is so
mistaken,
fun.
no, maybe it's not. No, it's Rockstar, isn't it? Is it not?
What, Sleeping Dogs?
Yeah,
No, it's Square Enix.
that's right. That's right. Okay, remember, never mind. But so it just already has that feel to it.
Oh
Although
yeah, I
there's
mean it's
there's a little bit extra to do with it, but it's already gotten that feel. But the combat in that game is very fun. It is definitely fun. It's what keeps it alive.
yeah. Yeah, I mean it is. That's a genre now. Like GTA is like the sandbox crime simulator is a genre now. Like right, the Saints Row, Sleeping Dogs,
I got through
GTA.
Saints Row just because it was short, but I sandbox games get to me within like 5 minutes anymore. I
Yeah.
can't do it. Maybe if they bring back San Andreas, but that's my only exception. That's about it there.
Okay. Well, that's. I just wanted to make a plea for more co-op games, mostly because I was really annoyed trying to think of co-op games to play, and we could not think of any. We were like going through all the games. I mean, we played like Red Alert 3. We played.
Yeah.
We were even playing Dreamfall: The Longest Journey. Like I would stream it and you just
Yeah.
watch it, and that's a really crappy. Like if you
Yeah.
played that game and then played Sleeping Dogs, you go like, holy crap, has games advanced? I wonder if I could show video. I should, but uh, yeah. Anyways, I guess that's all I wanted to say. You guys have anything else to say about that?
No.
Okay,
Nope.
I guess we'll go into the newest consoles. Last topic.
Yeah.
Here, Tom, why don't you take that on?
Take that on. No, I think the one thing that's already gonna bug me is that I know I've said it before to you guys is that no used games, the whole spiel with that's just not gonna work. They already tried it with Xbox 360 and PS3, and I'll tell you what, it's gonna fail miserably because you're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna be really pissed off about it, especially when you have such high failure rates for the consoles like they did with the Xbox 360 when it launched, and it even still does. And even the PS3 still has the light of death too. So that in and of itself is just not going to end well. It's going to be the huge downfall. And in fact, there was something shown that said about 60, I think it was like 68% of customers at GameStop said that they won't buy a new generation console
Yeah.
if that happens. 68%, and this is
Yeah,
GameStop.
but that's
GameStop is
so much.
responsible, but GameStop is responsible for more than 75% of the total sales of video games.
Yeah.
That industry is just gonna flop like hell,
Yeah.
and
I
there's no way they're
can't.
gonna there's no way they're gonna let that happen.
Yeah.
When
I
you've
can't
got
see
like
Microsoft and Sony just like
exactly Microsoft
pooping
especially.
on GameStop like that because
Oh, they're going
there's
to
such a
sooner or
huge.
later though. I
It just whenever it does happen, it's just going to be really, really, really ugly because GameStop is like whether you like them or not. they own such like a giant share of like a lot of people, like you just said, get their games from there, and then once they sort of deliver that blow to them of where their used games is basically done. I don't know how
Well,
it's gonna get really ugly, and a lot of people are gonna get really turned off by these consoles if they try and do that.
I'll tell you what, the only games I ever get new, and the only new brand spanking new games I have, minus the ones that I have to get on PC through Steam. The only brand new ones I have are NHL 13 and oh hell, you know what? Now that I think of it, I don't think of anything else that's brand new.
Yeah.
I really don't. I mean, like I just said, I just got Far Cry new, and the only reason I had Nino Kuni was I was waiting for a used copy. I
Yeah,
mean,
basically the
that
only
right
games
there.
that I get new are the launch day, like ones that I'm really extremely excited for. If not, then I'll wait and I'll get them used, most likely from GameStop, which is what I normally do.
Yeah.
But
Well, the thing is too is that like other than the sports ones with me, because that's kind of like with how they come out yearly, like they do. It's like either you're gonna get it like the first month, or you're just not gonna bother really, because
yeah,
otherwise you're
yeah,
just gonna waste your money.
yeah,
But the thing is that most of the used ones that I get, especially like for example Nino Kuni, there's absolutely no reason why I should go get it new. It's the same game, and especially with the PlayStation 3, with them being in Blu-ray still, and everything basically in Blu-ray with there, I'm guaranteed to get a game that's in perfect condition, and it's absolutely no different. I'm not losing anything out by getting it used as opposed to new. And overall, with my Power Up card too, I'm saving at least like $13, $15 worth for the same damn game. And when I'm done with it, which it's going to take me a while to beat, but when I'm done with it, I can take it back. I mean, Far Cry 3, the difference between new and used was $45 or $65. So
yeah.
now well, 43 to be technical, but I just finished it. I'm going to get a couple trophies, platinum it. I'm going to take it back, and I'm going to get $26 for that. That means the difference of about $18 for the game.
Yeah.
So
It
that
was worth
right there,
$18.
that right there kind of explains like why would they care about the 68% of people if they're only buying used games? They're not going to care if they don't buy a new console. They make more money off the games anyways. Like consoles have always been a very, if anything, a losing battle. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
gonna be with this new one, but Tom, you're
Oh,
very
it probably will be, but
yeah.
yeah,
Like Tom, you're a very you're a very savvy customer. You want to you're gonna get used games. You're willing to wait. But let's say they do remove used games. I think it's inevitable. Like they're gonna somehow remove GameStop. Like I think people right now are hearing that, oh, no used games, and they're automatically think oh, they're just gonna cut it out. I don't necessarily. I mean, maybe I don't know how smart Microsoft or Sony it really is, but they're probably gonna do it very slowly. I mean, look at like Blockbuster. How much I remember renting games every weekend, and now I don't even do it. Right? I don't like. The Blockbuster actually.
You can't with how things are done now.
The
It's really hard to.
Blockbuster by my house is actually still open for some odd reason. I'm waiting for it to close so I can get sales, but god damn it, it's still staying open for some odd reason. Uh, but uh, I just feel like it's going to happen. Like Tom, like if let's say let's say next generation, not this upcoming generation, but the one after that, the
Yeah,
PS5 and the 420, 440 or whatever.
1080 maybe.
I guess 1080, yeah. Are you gonna just stop playing games?
See, the thing that got me more of that wasn't. I don't. Not maybe it's not so much the use of, but the problem is that like you get a game and it's designated to your one system and that's it.
It'll be
So
designated to your
what happens if
account.
my buddy wants to try the game to see if he even wants it? I have to take my entire system over there and everything. Like he can't even use my disc. It's gonna become like games are gonna be like a coupon basically. You know
Yeah, but I mean, like, look
what
at
happens
Steam.
what happens if I buy a game and it doesn't work? What happens if I buy a game and like the coupon doesn't work? How can I prove that I
Mm,
didn't? Somebody else didn't get it. You know what I mean? And what happens if my system fries? How are they gonna keep track?
it's
You're gonna give me a new
it's gonna be
coupon.
on your account, Tom.
Huh?
It's not gonna be attached to your console. It'll be probably attached to your account. So if your system goes down, you just have to re-download it. Same way, like if I went to or better idea, like with my friend Corey, what I'd do is he'd give me his Steam account, and I played it. I
Oh yeah, yeah,
downloaded the game and I played it.
yeah. I did the same thing with my brother too.
I mean, like that's definitely not like I definitely the whole how do I know if I like the game? I see your point there. But I would say at the same time, like, how many other things are there? There's reviews, there's let's plays, there's streams of them. There's a lot of ways, and I mean, there's definitely it's still not going to be as good as playing it. I hope there's going to be good game demos with this if they do have this DRM stuff,
Yeah.
and like, if they can follow like how many Steam users, like I've been mainly a PC user, and I love Steam. Even though I can't share my games, even though once I get it, I can't sell it back. I if they have the sales, which are great. I don't know if Microsoft or Sony will actually do that, but if they do,
Yeah, well, that's what I was getting ready to say. Is uh, the
They're gonna
only
have to
way
do
this
it.
could possibly work. Yeah, the only way they could possibly work is if they're still gonna have when games come out. They're still gonna be $50, $60, whatever they're gonna be.
yes,
But they absolutely need to get the people who were used to be used game only people. They need to have sales more often.
yes, I
PC
agree.
does this. Like right now, you can get like Sleeping Dogs on Steam for like $10 or something.
Yeah,
Xbox,
I
it's
got it for $4.49 because of a computer
exactly
glitch on their end, and
Xbox
so many
to get
people
it
got
new.
butthurt over it.
It's still like $35, $40, at least. So that's why people buy used, is because it's a cheaper option. They're not willing to invest that large amount, that the people who went out and got it first. And the reason why they want to do it and the reason why they do it on PC is because if you like the game enough, you're gonna buy a future title from them. So that's
Plus,
why Microsoft
PC can mod the hell out of things.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Microsoft and Sony need to be more willing to, if they go to like let's say digital only content, that way, no more used games. They have to be more willing to let go of the games at a cheaper price, or people are just gonna not buy their console.
Yeah, and
it's just gonna be simple as that.
yeah, and these sales need to be not like 25%. They need to be like 50% at least,
Yeah.
in my opinion. For like, I mean, they can have the occasional 25%. But like if
Yeah.
it's a year-old game already, that should
Yeah.
already be getting 50% off on the special sales if developers are okay with it and stuff like that. I mean, okay, like a lot of people are up in arms. I mean, it's already they're all just they're already just rumors, right? Like none of this has been even confirmed. I don't even think any
No, not at
console has
all.
even been confirmed in general. Like technically, the Xbox and PS4 aren't really real things quite. I mean, I guess they had the Project Orbis
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but I mean, like I definitely see where a lot of people are coming from. Like the used game market is so big right now; it's still big. Personally, a lot of this doesn't affect me. Even the one thing that bothers me is always online.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
But-
doesn't make any sense either.
But I want to
Especially
see.
for games like Final Fantasy and stuff like that that have no
Yeah.
reason to be online.
I mean, I'm normally online, but if the biggest thing to me is if Xbox Live is down or if the PS Network is down, it's like, why can't I play my game? Like, what?
Yeah.
So I mean, there'll probably be some kind of thing around that, but that's why I kind of want to wait. Like, people here always online and used games are gone, and it's easy to kind of go, oh, I'm not gonna buy the next console. Right, and I don't even plan on
Yeah.
buying the next console. I'm gonna actually try to wait because I just got the PS3, right? I have plenty of games to
Yeah.
go through.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not getting PS4 till at least a year until that comes out. There's no point.
Yeah, and so I like just I want people like to wait until E3, see exactly what they're gonna say about
Yeah.
their console. Like, if it's let's say they have this DRM kind of thing, but then they give you great game demos. They give you maybe there is a way to kind of like sell it back, but instead of to GameStop, to the developers, right?
Yeah, well then that's a whole different story. They're gonna give me credit for another game. I can see that.
Yeah, so like, there's a lot of things that I think people are just kind of like they read the like article title or whatever and go, oh my god, the end of the world, end of gaming. And be quite frank though, I'm not 100% confident that both Sony or Microsoft will do the right thing, because like I said, Steam, everyone loves Steam. Who doesn't like Steam, right?
Yeah.
But if they if they don't have these sales that Steam does, they're gonna be screwed. Like, that is true, definitely. But I don't know. that was just kind of my thoughts on it.
Yeah. Because I mean, the next consoles are probably going to be in the $400, $500, $600 range, and if they have these, you know, sort of the worst case scenario, you know, no, you know, everything's going to be super, you know, no used games, you know, it's still going to be, you know, no sales that they're going to have, you know, basically everything bad happens. It's I'm basically just going to go, okay, screw this, I'll go to PC. So I mean, if they, you know, want to lose customers, then, you know, they'll do, you know, what, you know, everyone's worst nightmare is. But for me personally, I know Bill Gates, you're probably listening to this podcast right now. But, if you want to keep me, basically, uh, you can have your, you know, tied to your profiles. That's fine. I personally don't care. I know maybe other people do, but uh, you know, have it to where you can be offline and have it to where, you know, you're gonna have sales. Uh, you know, a month or two. I understand. You know, the first, you know, few months they're gonna be full price,
Yeah.
but afterwards, you know, you need to really discount them to keep up with, you know, PC, because,
Even
you
even
know,
if just like
that's really who, you know, they're competing with. I know Xbox and PS3, you know, they compete against each other, but, you know, they're
if
sort of, you know, in the same boat together, and they're really competing against the
yeah
PC. So
yeah they're kind of forced to do
that's,
the same things as each other, so they're actually
yeah,
competing against PC. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like even the sales don't even need to be that long. Like how long are some of these sales on Steam? They're like they have daily sales. If you miss it, you know, you have to wait, you know, maybe a whole year until it comes
yeah,
back or whatever. And it's just, you know, but it's worth it. Like, you know, if you get it, you feel so great. You catch it on a great deal. You get a game that you would have bought full price at, you know, 20
$7 for
bucks.
450.
Yeah.
That's what I
So
did.
I got Fable for free on Xbox Live, so and I love
gosh,
that
I
game.
wish it. Yeah, I missed out on that.
Yeah,
Gosh.
you remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
really, Xbox and PS and you know, Xbox and PlayStation. Really, the only differences between them are the exclusive titles, and they really need to focus on what PC does good and try and match that to, you know, keep its player base for the next gen. Otherwise, you know, if the stuff that happens that people are thinking it's going to happen, it's, I mean, it's just not going to work. I don't understand how it will. It won't work for me, at least. So
yeah, like if they're gonna copy PC, like I mean the DRM thing, right? Like how long has PC had CD keys? I
yeah,
remember playing like my first major game playing was Brood War, and I remember having to, you know, type in the 20 letter digit, and then I remember one of my games actually had like a smudged number, so I was just like, oh shit, what's my number? I got lucky on that one. Anyways, you know, PC has had it for a long time, and how like look how the PC elitist. I'm just gonna straight up say it. You know, look at how much they love their PC and how much greater PC gaming is compared to console gaming.
Yep.
So like if you know, so they actually have something there. If you're gonna copy, you know, the PC DRM, if you're gonna copy like the online stuff, you gotta also copy the good things, the sales,
yeah,
the, you know, the availability and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was a fun topic. You
yeah.
guys, anything else to say,
Oh no, I'm pretty good.
Tom?
It just blows my mind that still can't keep up with PC. They could really just, I mean, like I said, the whole used game thing is a really it's a big deal, considering with PC games you could just rip games from Pirate Bay and stuff like that. I know a lot
Hey
of people do it. It's
now.
really easy. Oh, it's easy to do that shit. Believe me, really easy to do that. I mean, they're
Oh,
getting
I
bent
have
over
no
about
idea what
that.
you're talking about.
Well, hey, look at Nintendo. Nintendo embraced it when people were hacking the hell out of the Wii's. They
Yeah,
embraced that shit. They let people. They came out and said, "Oh, we're not gonna do anything. We're selling more than PlayStation anyways." They
yeah,
basically just came out and said, buy the console, you can get free games," and it worked. Oh, believe me, it's worked.
yeah.
Okay, how about we end this on a more positive note? Uh, so you know, let's assume that all the console stuff is fine. You know, they have some kind of answers. We all accept it, right? Whatever, if it's great or, you know, okay. What game? or games, or what kind of games, or what do you guys want to see on the new console, or what are you excited for, or if there's a game that are already confirmed for it, what are you excited for?
Freaking cross-platform already. My God.
Cross-platform?
Yeah, like I don't. I should be able to play with y'all on like
Oh,
Madden or something if I'm on PS3 and you or PS4 and you're on Xbox 720 or
that'll never
Durango
happen.
or big,
Yeah,
or it's Play Platinum,
that
whatever the
won't.
hell they call it.
I
Oh,
think,
I would love to have like Xbox and PC maybe cross-platform, but Sony.
yeah, I can see PC combining with something, but
well, if they're trying to beat the PC, that could work.
yeah, well, yeah. Any games though? Any specific games? Like any maybe game, sequels that haven't come out yet, like Jade Empire 2 for me. I'm gonna come back to that over and over again.
Yeah, let's see. I want to see where they go with Crisis in the new generation first, because apparently they're pushing that to the max, and they've apparently put it at what they said was 99% capacity. So they basically maxed out what they can do with just generation. So I'm a little excited to see how that's gonna look and see what they consider maxed out before I see what I'm gonna expect for the next one, because we could be already seeing it.
Yeah.
So
But
Well,
I'll wait and see.
what I'm really excited for, I mean, the graphics, obviously, that's what most people worry about. But what I'm hoping for is in the next generation, we have more sort of the NPCs. I hope they take like a real step forward.
yeah.
Oh God, yes,
Like,
please.
because a lot of games have, obviously have problems with the AI, and they're very robotic, or I really hope that the graphical, or not the graphical, but the processing power in the future games, not only help with graphics, but I really, really hope the AI takes a huge step forward, and I think we will see that. You'll have more realistic, sort of, almost human-like characters. But I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, like, graphics, I honestly, like, 360 graphics are fine with me.
Yeah,
If I don't know if you guys have seen the Halo 4 like cutscenes, like those are amazing. I know they're just
yeah,
cutscenes, but goddamn, like, I'm sure 720 will probably be able to do at least that, and that's
yeah.
way good enough. Like, there's literally a moment like when I first started up the game, the campaign, I was just like, wait, did they do live action for this cutscene, or oh wait, no, her lips are too shiny. There you go. Finally caught it. Like, it took me a while. I literally had to study. It was flashing back and forth. And it was just like, oh no, okay, that's actually a game rendered thing. Yeah.
I remember when I was that way for Diablo 2.
Ah.
Way back in the day, like they did cutscene, like, oh my god, it looks so good. How could that ever get better? But yeah,
But that's become what it just normally is for gameplay now.
Yeah.
I know.
And then some.
Have you guys seen
Yeah.
the new Heart of the Swarm StarCraft 2 trailer?
No.
No.
Oh, you guys, I'll link that to you guys, but it's really awesome. Yeah, I mean, like, it's weird because Blizzard is, I mean, I guess because it's their type of games, but they're not really known for graphics. But then you look at their cutscenes and kind of go, they should be known for the graphics. Like, you look at like even like Diablo 3, it's just there's small sprites on the screen. They look pretty good, but
Yeah.
they're nothing like these full people that are up close and you know all that kind of stuff. Uh, yeah, the AI would be great. Like, I think one of the reasons Assassin's Creed bothered me was kind of the AI. I mean, stealth games are really hampered because the AI is
Yeah.
so, binary. It's either,
Yeah.
oh, I see you, oh, now I
Or
can't see you.
yeah.
And it's just like,
And Skyrim kind of is that way too. Like they're like, oh, you like shoot someone with an arrow, and they're like, oh shit, someone's around here, and then you like just sit there, and they're like,
count
oh,
10
it must have
seconds.
been the wind.
1,000,
Like,
2,000. Oh, there you go.
I must be imagining things. So
This happened
forget
with me
it.
with Far Cry trying to do one of the trophies, trying to distract enemies with rocks. I sat in the same place, kept throwing a rock like 30 times. They're like, who did that? Where'd that come from? Turn around,
Yeah.
it's coming from the same fucking direction for the last 20 minutes. What do you mean you don't know where it's coming from?
Exactly.
Oh, it must be the wind. Forget it.
Oh yeah, actually, I have one story real quick on Far Cry 3. So, I love stealth in that game, even though it's still pretty, binary. It's throw a rock, they go to that spot, assassinate them, easy. But it was still somewhat challenging with how they were, laid out and all that kind of stuff, and you drag bodies, and that's fun. But there was one part where this was before I can, just take down heavies. Heavies, if you've never played the game, is a pain in the ass to kill. You have to like shoot their helmets constantly. Then
Hmm.
you have to headshot, and even then, it still takes a shit ton of bullets. Um, but what I found out is if you do like a mine, it kills them like one hit. But so I was around this building and I was trying to distract the heavies to come over towards where I laid the mine. And I finally, I see him coming by. I threw a rock to where his path would go through it, and I'm in his building, and I'm in a fully enclosed building. The mine's on the outside of it, and he goes and walks on it, and then it blows up on me. I'm like, this mine just defied physics and went through the building and killed me. It's just like, what the hell just happened there? Anyways, I don't know. It was funny to me. It was funny to watch. And I guess that's it. Like, so, anything else that you guys want to see? Like, there's no specific game you want to see on the new consoles, new power.
Nothing yet. I want to. I'll wait to see what they can do before I start going slap happy about what I could actually see on it.
Yeah.
Let's see where they start. Of course,
I
we're
mean,
gonna
we've
we're
still
gonna
got
see Crisis 3
another
Max.
round of. I mean, yeah, we still got a round or two of AAA titles that are gonna come out on 360 and PS4 or
Oh yeah,
PS3s.
that's true. It's gonna be a couple years
I don't.
probably.
Yeah, I can't really. Yeah, speculate on what possible. I'm
I don't think
sure
I don't even
this
think they've
next.
got an idea.
Yeah, well, I know developers. Certain companies are working. Don't they have like the specs out to the developers? For I think they have them out now. So I think games are being developed or at least designed for it now. But you
Yeah.
know we don't know about it.
You know what I'm excited for on these new consoles? There'll probably be new. Well, I guess I shouldn't like exclusives, but there's probably gonna be more new IP again.
Yeah,
Which, I
yeah,
mean, it kind of goes back to Tom's whole like, do I pick a game what I like? To me, it's honestly hasn't been that much of a problem because Borderlands 2, I loved Borderlands 1, so I'm gonna get Borderlands 2. Halo 4, not, I mean, I guess Far Cry 3 is kind of new, but there's that, everything's been sequels lately that it's just like you don't really
yeah,
even have to worry. Just if you like the previous game, go ahead and get the new game.
yeah.
So it's nice. It's gonna be nice to see. Hopefully, new IPs. I'm assuming they'll have new IPs. Anyways, that's all the topics I got. You guys got anything else you want to say?
Nope.
Uh, if
Any?
any, yeah. Basically, I'll just plug my Twitter. It's Snell D58. It's SN as in Natalie, ELL D58. You can follow me on there. I tweet about TV and shit like that.
Yes, he
And
does.
also Obi Doug Kenobi on Xbox if you want to add me, play some Assassin's Creed or whatever. It's Obi Doug Kenobi, and the last O is a 0. So, yeah, that's how you can get a hold of me.
I'm
Tom.
too cool. I'm too cool for Twitter.
Do you
Oh, that's
not?
fun.
I'm too stupid to actually figure out how the hell it works. I'm pretty certain I have one, but I am just so stupid with it. Seriously, it is. It is like the Democrats and Republicans coming together trying to run a country. I'm too stupid to figure out how it actually works. So yes, but I do. I have a unique PS3 ID, so I don't really give it out to too many people.
Oh,
Sorry. I usually don't. I just kind of keep it to friends and that because I have too many people before add me, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. They're gonna
it's okay.
invite me to some game, and I'm like, okay.
I mainly
Yeah,
just said it is because a lot of people know me by that. So, you know,
yeah.
yeah,
It's weird calling you Ohio. I'm so glad I just know you as Doug now.
yeah,
Yeah, ever since the Halo days, it's nice knowing. Uh, the weirdest one is, you guys know Greg Jennings on the forums?
yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah.
It was just like calling him Greg or Jennings, and we played Halo with him, and it was just like, oh, I can actually call you a name now instead of calling you a football
Yeah.
player.
I remember we were playing Mass Effect with him, and we were just like we were playing. I was like, "Oh, hey, Greg, do this," and he's like, "My name's not Greg," and just because his screen name is Greg Jennings, I was
Yeah.
just like, "Oh, hey, Greg, yeah, do this."
He finally changed it
Yeah.
because Greg Jennings is probably going back to the Packers.
Oh, he did change it. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he's like Gambit Django or something. Or I don't even remember
Oh,
what it was.
okay.
Gambit something. More representative of his
I
gamer
didn't
tag.
even know you could change your screen name. What happened?
You can change it once if you like PM Webmaster, Webby.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah, like
Oh
I
my
think what
god.
you end up doing is you like just start a new account and ask him to
Oh,
close the
well, I
other
don't
one.
want to do that then. I don't
Oh.
lose all my posts.
Oh yeah, you'll lose your post.
Yeah, nah, forget that. I got too many Mafia posts saved up.
Oh my god. I have way too many posts because of that stupid game.
That's like 90% of my posts. Like,
Ugh.
I have like 5% football, like 5% like video games and TV, and then 90% Mafia, trying to figure out who the fuck is trying to lynch, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know if you played in the last Mafia game, but I was just like I joined because Mathman or Alfred Packard created
yeah,
it.
I almost joined that one. I haven't
I,
played in a long time, but I'm just way too busy now.
I was just like I can't even care anymore about Mafia.
Yeah.
Anyways, that
People
was
don't take it as seriously as I do.
no. I don't
It bothers me.
I don't take it serious now. I used to, but I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was a podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know if are we changing this to weekly or still doing bi-weekly? I
I'm
don't know.
down for either. So,
Yeah,
Whatever.
same to me.
We'll figure it out with each other. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you, I don't know. Hope you guys enjoyed. Adios. Say bye.
bye everyone.
Bye.